Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple Music. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, and heard on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, and more. Makes great gifts 24/7. Go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a singer-songwriter and Spotify-verified R&B artist, and a registered voting member of the National Recording Academy. He also began a pop group at 14, making a debut at the Topeka Festival Mexicana. He also performed with Aaron Carter, O-Town, Color Me Bad, Jay-Z, and more. He's a founder of the RO Experience Cruise, and we'll talk about the amazing cruise. He's also had some music called Better Than Coffee, also Spread Love, Wine and Karaoke with RO, and also he's also been in the lottery as well, too, and debuted with R&B Pop Writer, which hit number 42 on the pop charts back in 12, and a brand new single, Back to Kansas, and of course, going back to nightlife. Ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studio, somewhere in beautiful downtown Kansas, where, of course, the land of Toto and Dorothy and more, and took him back to a great land where he grew up. Back to Kansas, ladies and gentlemen, the singer-songwriter, multi-talented Roger Ortega. Roger, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Mike. How are you? Thank you for having me.
I'm doing great. So you're a Spotify R&B artist, registered voting member of the National Recording Academy. You began a pop group at the age of 14, debuting at the Topeka Fiesta Mexicana. You performed with Aaron Carter, O-Town, as well as Color Me Bad and Jay-Z. You're a founder of the RO Experience Cruise. You have some songs, Better Than Coffee, Spread Love, and also you debut with R&B Pop Writer back in 2012, reached number 42. You have the lottery. You have a brand new release called Back to Kansas, and also Back to Nightlife. We'll talk about those. And before getting to all that, Roger, tell us how you first got started.
Well, first I started growing up in a musical family. Fell in love with music at an early age. My dad was in a band with my uncles, and they were practicing every night. They've been playing together since I was born. And my dad, unfortunately, passed away in 2016, so he's no longer in the band, of course. But my uncles still play to this day. They still play all around the Midwest. And so going to bed every night, hearing the different styles of music that they would play, I just knew I wanted to be on the stage. I knew I wanted to be a singer. I knew that the spotlight was calling me. And at an early age, they let me, sing with them. There was a song called La Bamba that there was, I fell in love with after the movie. There was a movie called La Bamba.
One of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah. Same here. And as a young kid, that movie, Lou Diamond Phillips and playing Richie Valens was really inspirational as a Mexican as well. Mexican American, who doesn't speak Spanish, by the way.
See?
And so it's now that I think about it, it's pretty funny that my very first song on stage was actually a Spanish song. So that I was bitten by the bug once I hit the stage, decided that I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to do Spanish music because I don't speak Spanish. But I fell in love heavily with pop and R&B music, you know, Wham, George Michael, Michael Jackson. Those were my George Michael and Michael Jackson, my biggest influences at the time growing up. And then came the New Kids on the Block. And New Kids on the Block was what kind of propelled me, the idea rather, to start a group, because I was still introverted, you know, even I was still shy, all that fun stuff. And I was scared to do it by myself. I didn't know what I was doing, but I knew if I could drag a couple of friends with me, I wouldn't be as scared to start. But we did. We started at the Topeka Mexican Fiesta back in 20, not 20, there was no 20 there, back in 1988, I think it was, something like that. And then the group kind of grew, evolved, changed members and whatnot. You know, I'm still close to every single person that was a member of that group, almost every single person. The group eventually became the group Slow Motion. Slow Motion had gone on to get a production deal, and we moved to New York in '98. After a few years there, how long were we there? Gosh, I don't remember how long we were there together. But the deal had fallen through, and it was just kind of kind of a wash. After 10 years, I thought I'm too young, or I'm too old for this. You know, at 24 years old, I was too old for the music industry. Up until I was around, and I walked away. But I kept writing for fun, just because it was an outlet. And eventually, and when I was 36, I landed in an independent record deal as a writer, and then transitioned into being an artist. And I haven't looked back since, man. The first album hit number 62 on iTunes back in 2012. And then The Lottery came out in 2016, and that hit number 8 on iTunes.
Wow.
So yes, it's been a pretty amazing ride, and then COVID. So here we are.
And of course, you know, I have The Lottery as well too. I was going to ask you about that. That's a really interesting song, The Lottery, and you know, tell us about that. What actually inspired you to write it first, along with R&B pop writer, the way you wrote it in 2012. You have some really creative music out there.
Thank you. I write from the heart. I write from it's 99% of my songs are about love. Like I'm just a diehard romantic, whether it's you know, about being in love, whether it's about making love, or whether it's about heartbreak, because everyone has experienced all of those in some, you know, shape or form. And it's very, still, no matter what, love doesn't go out of style. It's still very relevant, you know.
Even if you love food.
Yes, exactly. You can love food too. But it's yeah, so that's kind of where each of those albums came from. The Lottery was more a thankful song, and it was more me looking around at my life and like, man, like I've got this great career, I've got this great wife, you know, amazing wife. I have 2 amazing daughters. Like, all my friends are so supportive. My community back in Kansas at the time, I was living in New Jersey. You know, my fans, everyone's so supportive. Like, what have I done? I hit the lottery. And that's what spawned the idea for the song, The Lottery. And that's what the album was really about. The album was like, man, you know, the first album did so well. And here I am, I have this great career, and people know me, and it's everything that I've wanted it to be. And so I still, to this day, I mean, I have to pinch myself sometimes when you know, my wife and I, we just moved back to Kansas after 23 years in New Jersey. We were walking down the street the other day, and we grew up with very little money. Both of us grew up, we were together. When we first started out, we had very little money. And we were walking down the street from dinner, and we were looking at our beautiful neighborhood that we live in now. And it was so peaceful and so quiet. And I'm like, this is going too smooth, this move to Kansas. Like, I knock on wood, but I feel like we're dreaming. Like it's been great. You know, I think we wanted to come here to kind of slow the pace down. But I think we still, even our slower pace is at a faster pace than a lot of people's fast pace out here. And we hit the ground running. And when I say I'm busier than I've been in years, I mean, there's not enough hours in the day to get things done. Between the move itself, between business moves that I'm making as an investor for a certain company, on top of that, with the career and the release of the album, and so many things going on. I mean, there's so much work that goes into. People don't know really what it takes to put an album together. It's not just, I mean, people can just go into the studio and record, and they can put it out. and that's great. If nobody hears it, you know, then then something's missing. There's a lot of work that goes into promotion. There's a lot of work that goes into the shows. My shows, I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot. I always say this. I get going and I just start talking.
It's okay. You're in the spotlight. Talk whatever you want. It's okay.
But my shows, I always say I don't gig. I don't consider them gigs. I don't consider, I'm not one of those guys going to go up there, stand on a mic and sing. If you come to a Roger Ortega show, you're getting a show, and everyone walks away from my shows like, okay, I knew he was good, but I wasn't expecting that. And it's not my singing. My singing's okay. My singer got a nice voice, you know, but it's the effort that I put into the show, into the entertainment factor, or the entertainment aspect rather. And I care about the details, where a lot of people just, I swear, man, there's nothing more boring to me than a singer who just walks around or stands in one place. And no matter if the song could be exciting and hype and have, you know, the crowd might be like wanting to bounce, and the singer's just like trying to be too cool to move, man, get out of here. Get out of here. Let me go up there with my corny songs and blow them off the stage.
And he also works with some great people as well, too. Perform with Aaron Carter, O-Town, Color Me Bad, Jay-Z, and more. And tell us about that, especially Jay-Z.
Yeah, so the Jay-Z thing was a pretty cool story. It was not planned by any means. We were coming home, my group Slow Motion, we were coming home from a studio session in New York City somewhere. And there was a mall in New York City called the Manhattan Mall, and it might still be there. But at the time it was set up differently. And we heard music coming from the mall. And so this was after hours. So somehow the doors were open. We peeked our heads in, and we saw a lady by the name of Kelly Price, who was a very famous R&B singer. And she had a few hits out at the time. And we asked her if we could sing to her. She said, of course. And we sang Just My Imagination, I think, by the Temptations.
Nice.
And we did that a cappella, of course. And she said, wait right there. And so, you know, shortly after that, a couple of guys from the radio station came up to us and they were like, hey, you know, we're doing this show. And we'd like you guys to be on it if you want. It's going to be you guys, Cisco from Drew Hill, Dave Chappelle was just coming up at the time, and so
oh my gosh,
he hadn't really blown up yet. God, Faith Evans, who was married to Notorious B.I.G., and she's had a bunch of hits. Of course, Kelly Price and Jay-Z. And we were like, we're in, yeah. I mean, when do we need to be here? They said, well, can you guys be back here in about 6 hours, you know, 5 or 6 hours? It was already 11:30, 12 at night. We had to be there by 5 in the morning or something. And we were like, yes. So we were there, and it was a really amazing experience. It was during his Hard Knock Life height. And when he did that song, that place just rocked. And I thought the building was going to fall. But it was
wow.
really cool. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. And you also had some more hits yourself, like Better Than Coffee, Spread Love as well too. And we'll talk about that along with your new release as well too. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews, and Eve 11 enjoys by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassie, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Girls Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, one of our 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries. You know, also on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books, merchandise, and more. Also support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you do so today. We're here with the multi-talented singer, songwriter, and Spotify verified R&B artist, Roger Ortega here on the Mike Wagner Show. And we talked about your amazing upbringing and how you got to sing with Aaron Carter, Old Town, Call Me Back, Jay-Z, and more as well, too. You also have a couple other tunes out there to talk about, Better Than Coffee, Spread Love, and also Back to Nightlife. And tell us about those before we get to your big hit.
Yeah, so it's funny. I didn't realize how many songs I actually had out on just released until we drove back to Kansas. We moved about a month ago, and we all, my daughters and I and my wife, we had the idea. We're like, let's listen to every single thing that I put out in order, and that was a good 2.5, 3 hours worth of music.
Ooh, man.
I think 40 some songs, something like that, but with the albums and everything, Better Than Coffee being one of them. There were a couple songs. Better Than Coffee is a song that I didn't really play very loud in front of the daughters.
You mean Better Than This Coffee here?
Yeah, well, you know what? You have a Broncos mug, so it's definitely better than that.
Yes, definitely too. And I got that in South Dakota. That's how the Mike Wagner Show got started as well too. We're in South Dakota about 4 years ago, and all of a sudden the idea of the Mike Wagner Show popped up as well too, and all because of South Dakota. Thank you very much, guys. So
South Dakota. Thank you, South Dakota.
Yes.
I'm a huge Kansas City Chiefs fan, so go figure. But anyway, so Better Than Coffee, that was a fun song. I recorded it up in Canada with a couple producers that I love working with. They actually have a song on the new album as well, which will be out this fall. Spread Love was a special song because that was a birthday gift to Donnie Wahlberg, who is one of the New Kids on the Block, a founding member of New Kids on the Block, and movie star, TV star. The guy does it all. He doesn't stop. As a matter of fact, he's been on tour with New Kids all summer long. And the last few weeks, he's been flying back after certain shows from wherever he is, back to New York to film his show Blue Bloods, which is on every Friday night, to film Blue Bloods in the daytime, hop on a flight, go back to the show, back to the join the band and back in concert. But his birthday was coming up, and I was approached by some fans about writing a song for him using some of his tweets, because he has a lot of inspirational quotes that he just writes himself, and his hashtag is Spread Love and Love Will Spread. So I knew instantly that was a song I wanted to write, and I used some of his words, some of my words. We did a Zoom meeting with him and surprised him with the song, and he absolutely loved it. And there was a video involved as well with all the fans and everything, holding up signs and stuff like that. It was a really cool experience, but to see him see the look on his face of surprise and joy and love was really, really special. That song is the only song that's not on Spotify because it was a gift. So you can download it on soundcloud.com. Just find Roger Ortega, Spread Love, and you can download it for free.
That's certainly amazing. That's a really nice birthday gift. I got to say that. We'll see to it that get some love as well too. Just download it today. Also, your brand new song "Back to Kansas" from Midwest Charm, which is soon to be released. And tell us more about the new song "Back to Kansas" along with your upcoming release "Midwest Charm."
So when we decided we were moving back to Kansas, I thought, man, what a great name for a song. It just rolls right off the tongue. Back to Kansas, back to Kansas. Everyone thinks of Dorothy, when they think of Kansas.
And Toto, yes, and the red slippers, and that wicked witch.
And the wicked witch, right, right. It's I love the Wizard of Oz. But so going back to Kansas was a big deal for me, being away for 23 years of my life, which I never thought we were going back to Kansas. Never in a million years that I think we were coming back to Kansas. We always knew when I moved up there with music, that was my focus. There was no looking back. Then when my girlfriend, now wife, moved up from Kansas, it was like, okay, I think at that point I was done with music. And I was like, okay, all we're going to do is let's just make as much money as we can and then go somewhere where it'll go further. We're just outside New York City. So, the opportunity is there. Little did I know the opportunity would become music again, and on top of that, we had what we called our East Coast parents. We had worked for them. I worked for them early on, and from like 2006 to 2012, 13-ish, somewhere around there. And my wife worked for them all the way through. And they were the most generous people. They would take us on they owned a real estate company in New York. My wife was her assistant. And when I say, I can't say anything bad about these people, but they used to keep a yacht in the British Virgin Islands, and they would fly me and my girls out there and not accept a dime for
Wow.
any of it. Gave us cash while we were there, put it on the card. But that was our whole lives. Anytime we were with them, we didn't pay for anything. They didn't let us. I'm telling you, these are the most generous people I've ever met, especially at that level. I mean, you know, at that, to have that much money and be that generous, but they didn't have kids, and we didn't have our parents out there. And for years, we're like, how are we ever going to pay these people back? You know, like they've given us so much, you know, they've done so much for us. They go to all of our kids' grandparents' days. Our kids called them Nana and Poppy because for, you know, in every, you know, every aspect of the word, every sense of the word, that they were their grandparents. They were the ones they knew. They knew their grandma and grandpas back in Kansas, but they weren't as close to them. These people were there for them all the time. Not that ours weren't. It's just they weren't, you know, they were far away. And it was amazing. And then when our East Coast dad got sick, that's when I'm like, this is why we're here. This is how we repay them. We're there for them. And we did. We took them doctor's appointment everywhere. And when he passed away, his last words to me were literally, please take care of my bride. And, you know, I know we did for several years. And that's what kept us there in Kansas, was we didn't want to leave her. And so when she passed away last year, I looked at my wife and I'm like, so what's keeping us here now? I can do my job from anywhere now. Technology. Look at this, man. You're in South Dakota. I'm in Kansas, and
that's right. Yes, we're in the Great Plains as well too. Northern Plains, Southern Plains, Central Plains, and all that. I mean, technology is possible. COVID or no COVID. Yes, I mean, technology is possible. That's right.
Yeah. So I'd known for years if I ever wrote an album, it was going to be called Midwest Charm. I didn't know the presence that the Midwest was going to take on this album. And so when I decided we were moving, I decided, okay, I'm going to have this album done before we move. And things didn't work out that way. I think I had about 40 to 50% of the album done before I moved about a month ago.
Oh my goodness.
When I got here, I hit the ground running, and I thought, how apropos. This album, it can't be called Midwest Charm without Midwest influence. And now I've got I've got a country singer from the Midwest on one of my songs, and a rapper from the Midwest. I've got a producer from the Midwest, or engineers from the Midwest rather. I've got, I mean, there's my uncle who I grew up idolizing. You know, my uncle is playing guitar on a song, and it's exactly what needed to happen. I'm under the gun right now because I still got a lot to do with it, and I'm super busy on it. And in fact, I'm going to leave here, and I have an hour drive to Topeka, Kansas. Oh, wow. And then I got to check out the music video for my upcoming song, Back to Kansas. And then I've got to go to the studio tonight as well. But I'm enjoying it all. I'm enjoying it all. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep going.
I was gonna say Back to Kansas is actually basically the story of the last 23 years of my life. And it acknowledges a lot that I've been through. It acknowledges the ups, the downs. It acknowledges the love that I have for Kansas, but not only Kansas, but for New Jersey and New York. Because I tell people, you know, they're like, where are you from? I'm like, well, I was born and raised in Kansas. I was made in New York City, but I called New Jersey my home for 23 years. So, and I loved all of those places with all of my heart because they made me who I am. So the album Midwest Charm will open up with Back to Kansas. That'll be the first song on the album. The last song on the album is called Jersey Goodbye. And that's my ode to Jersey.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing too. Going from Kansas to Jersey and back. You're also going on some cruises as well too. We'll talk about the Aura cruise experience in just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson Zia Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with singer-songwriter Roger Ortega after this time. We're back to amazing singer-songwriter from Kansas to New Jersey, back to Kansas, Roger Ortega here on the Mike Wagner Show. And, before we, talk more about Back to Kansas and a bit more as well too. You also are the founder of the RO Experience Cruise, and tell us more about that.
Yeah, so the RO Experience Cruise was, we were approached by a travel agent, friend of ours, to do a cruise with Norwegian several years ago. I didn't want to do it. I'm like, I can't fill up a boat, right? And he's like, no. He's like, you don't have to. He said, we'll just get a group of people. It'll be like, just a cruise group. He goes, but we'll have events for them every night, whatever you want to do. So we did the first cruise, and it was a good cruise. Like, it was a successful cruise. And when I say successful, I mean, we didn't lose money on it. And so that's a success. Anytime I don't lose money, that's a success.
That's right.
But the second cruise was going to be about 3 times as big. And everyone was ready. It was going to be October of 2020. I don't have to say anymore. That didn't
Boom.
happen. So it didn't happen. So RO Cruise 2 got put on hold. And then we decided a few months ago to go ahead and we wanted to see how everything was going to work, if people were going to cruise again. And so essentially we're starting all over with this cruise, the buzz, the hype, and all that stuff. But we are leaving May 22nd through May 28th of next year. We come back on Sunday. The next day is Memorial Day, so people have a chance to rest. It's a 7-day cruise that goes to the Eastern Caribbean. We'll go from Miami to the Dominican Republic, a place called Puerto Plata. Then we're going to St. Thomas, which is in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Then we're going, and this is the reason I didn't want to do a 7-day cruise again, but this one spot is the reason that I chose it, that I said, yeah, I'll do a 7-day because it's the only one going there. And it's to Tortola, which is in the British Virgin Islands.
Oh.
Tortola is just off. I mean, we used to visit that island a lot with my East Coast parents on their yacht, and I love the British Virgin Islands. And so I was like, I want my fans to love it as much as I do. So let's go there. And then we go to Great Stirrup Cay. I think the cruise package altogether is around $2,700 for like for 2 people total in a balcony room, but people get one of 4 perks. I don't know what the other perks are. I know one of them is free internet, but the most important one that most people will choose, they get 2 of 4 perks.
Would the food count?
Well, the food doesn't count as a perk, but it's definitely a perk. But this one does, and this is the one that everyone chooses, and it's the unlimited alcohol package for 7 days. So
better than food.
Better than food a lot of times, and better than coffee.
Yeah, better.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lot of times you go on a cruise, if you want an unlimited package for alcohol, you've got to pay around $400 and some dollars. This is included. They do have to pay tax on it, but it is included in their price. So that's a plus. And people love that. And so that, again, people can go to rocruise.com. Again, that's rocruise.com, or they can simply go to rogerortega.com as well. And there's links to everything I have going on there.
Mm-hmm. And of course, a cruise as well too. And of course, you got your website, and of course, people can bring the music along too. And speaking of music and the cruise, where can we find all your music at?
You can find all my music at rogerortega.com. You can also find it on Spotify, Amazon, Google Play, wherever digital music is available, you'll find me. I'm not hard to find. YouTube, you Google Roger Ortega, you're gonna find me. I'm not hard to find.
We will certainly do so along with our cruise. We're here with singer, songwriter, multi-talented Roger Ortega from Kansas to Jersey and back to Kansas here on the Mike Wagner Show. In just a few more minutes, Roger, we'll love to have you back. What else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond?
So what we have right now, I'm working on the Midwest Charm album, as I mentioned earlier. And that album there's going to be 2 versions of it. The deluxe version is going to be only available at rogerortega.com. And that's going to have 2 or 3 songs that will not make it to Spotify, just for people that go to my website and buy it there. There's a couple reasons for that. Spotify does not pay artists very well. I was lucky with the first 2 albums that at the time people were buying songs on iTunes. That's how you had to listen to it. You had to buy it or download it from iTunes. So I did great. But what was even better is I have an older fan base who at the time was still wanting hard copies. So I sold twice as many albums. I sold CDs, and the same people bought the CD, they downloaded it. So they had it everywhere. Great fans. I have the best freaking fans. But anyway, Spotify then, after 2016, 2017, started to take off. and people, we don't even get a penny off of a spin or a stream on Spotify now. So what we've done to counteract that is what we do is we're going to put my album out a few weeks before it hits Spotify, but we're going to put it out on my website, and my fans will hopefully go there and buy it, so we can recoup some of this money, if not more. And we're hoping for more, but we'll see how it does. And so that's the draw to that, is to have a few extra songs that aren't on the Spotify and other digital platforms versions of this album. So we'll have the Midwest Charms deluxe album and the Midwest Charm album out on Spotify.
Oh, we're certainly looking forward to it. You got some great stuff out there, Roger. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
I mean, I still think, I'm going to say, there's so many, but the biggest one is probably George Michael. He had an amazing voice. He was an amazing songwriter. Just fell in love with his music at a very young age. And, I actually redid Father Figure as well.
Nice.
And I'm really proud of that recording. But the other one I'm proud of, I changed it up quite a bit, was Last Christmas. That he did with Wham, the big song everyone hears every year.
Oh, I love that song. That's what put him at the top. Yes.
I put a different spin on it, because if you listen to the lyrics, it's kind of a sad song. So I made it a very, very, very melancholy version of that song, and I shot the video in like -35, -40 degrees in Canada in November a few years ago. It was the coldest I've ever been in my entire life. It was a point where I didn't even know if I was lip syncing because I could not feel my lips. But it's a beautiful video, beautifully shot. I'm so proud of it. We got to go to downtown Toronto and walk along the water and everything as well. It was beautifully shot. I'm so proud of it. But and I'm proud of the recording too. So so George Michael, I would say, is my biggest influence.
And certainly as well too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
If it's something you want to do, I have several things here real quick though. Want it, earn it, get it, deserve it. You got to earn it. You can want it all you want, but if you don't earn it, you're never going to get it, And the other thing is, people will say, oh, I wish I could do what you do. I'm like, well, you can. You just have to want it more than you don't. I think consistency, persistency are the two things. You're going to hear no a hell of a lot more than you're going to hear yes. And you just got to make the most of those yeses. And you've got to network.
That is a very good point. We'll certainly remember that, Roger. Once again, we're a singer, songwriter, multi-talented Roger Ortega from Kansas to Jersey, back to Kansas here on the Mike Wagner Show with Back to Kansas. Roger, very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Just keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase, check out works, and especially the cruise?
Okay, RogerOrtega.com has all the information on all the events coming up. I've got several shows. I've got several events as well that I'm doing. I'm doing a listening party in Topeka, Kansas. It's going to be a really nice deal on September 17th. But all of that can be found. All of my social media links, everything can be found at RogerOrtega.com. And please check out Back to Kansas, which comes out the 29th, which will probably be out by the time this airs. The video will be on YouTube. And then we also have Midwest Charm, the album, coming out late September. So thank you very much.
We will certainly do so. Once again, Roger, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love having you back. We wish all the best. And Roger, you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you.